Hi there and welcome back to this week's video. My name is Cynthia Wakeo and I'm joined by Pamina Swainaina. And we're going to be looking at the 3 key things to master when starting a business in Kenya. Thank you for joining me, Pamina.
Thank you, Cynthia. Yes.
Yeah, so starting a business, you're a business owner, so I'm very sure it's not easy. So what are these 3 things we're talking about are key to master when starting one?
Yeah, before I share with you the things that you need to master, I'll share with you some statistics, some not so good statistics when it comes to business success, especially new businesses success. So they say out of every new business, 20% fail within the first year, and 90% will have failed within 5 years.
That's big.
Exactly. So that means if 10 people start a business in January, by December, only 8 of them will be there. And come 4 years later, only 1 will be surviving. Yeah. So based on my experience then, what are some of the things that you need if you're a would-be entrepreneur, if you're thinking of starting a business? What are the 3 things that you need to focus on, to get it right, so that you don't become part of the statistics?
Yeah.
Number 1 for me is to ask yourself, is there a need in the market? Okay, so Cynthia, the fact that you like using lipstick, you like looking nice, it doesn't mean that someone out there is willing to pay for that. And I see people getting out of employment, really excited. Oh, this something I've seen, or this is something that people are doing, and I think I can make money out of it. Yeah, so you find people traveling, they go to China, they go to Dubai, for holiday, they say something nice. But what you need to ask yourself, is there a need in the market? And the need means, is someone willing to give you money? Because also there could be a need in the market, but people are not willing to pay. I'll give you an example. Think about our musicians. Would you pay to listen to music over the radio?
No.
You wouldn't pay. So there's a need in terms of being entertained. But to what extent are people willing to go and remove money from their pocket and give you? Yeah. So for me, a need means it's like someone has a toothache. At that time, even if I came and I told you, Cynthia, I'm going to help you, but you need to pay me 100,000 for me to, solve the pain. I'm sure if you didn't have any alternative, if I'm the only dentist you can access in the next, let's say, 5 days, you don't have a choice. You'll be able to pay that 100,000 shillings. So a need is very important. Number 2 is to think about how large or big is your market. Okay, so you may be wanting to start this business, but then you find, yes, there's a need, but there's not a big market enough to sustain a business. Because the reason why we say it's a business and it's not a hobby is that you need to generate clients and business on a daily basis, on an ongoing basis. So for example, I'll give you the example of us, the business I run, corporate staffing services. People will always be hired. So it's either they are being hired either through corporate staffing or through other means. Look at a restaurant. People will always eat, whether there's COVID or not. Look at matatu business. People will always travel. They always travel. Yeah. So, but look at the reverse. So you come here, you start a very nice hotel. It's 5-star. Maybe you are charging 2 million shillings a night. Is there a need for people to travel? Yes. But is the market big enough for you to get people every day paying 2 million shillings? I don't think that's possible. And even if it is, there are only a few people in the world who can afford that. So maybe you still have your hotel, but it will only be open 10 days in a year. Because that's the only time you can be able to get the 10 people who can afford. Yeah. The last thing I would consider is, yes, there's a need, and the market is big enough. So I would also ask myself, what makes me unique? So in sales, we call these unique selling proposition. What am I bringing on board? Why? Because think about like matatu. There's one which is very famous. What do they call it? I think everyone boards this matatu. Is it Metro, Shuttle, or what?
Metro,
yeah.
Metro, Super Metro.
Super Metro.
Yes.
And the reason why people like it is because they are trained, they are there to the traffic rules, speed. I mean, they'll not kill you, you'll not die in the next 10 minutes. And that has made a difference in the sense that now it's not your typical matatu. So in the transport industry, but there's something they are doing which is unique. Yeah. So that way they're able to stand out and they're able to get customers. So if I'm not in a hurry, I would rather wait for that super metro than go with a matatu making noise and such. So it's the same with us. So if you want to come and, let's say you want to start a recruitment business because you think Paminas is successful, clients are not just going to move from corporate staffing to your business if you're not offering something extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is where you find people, when M-Pesa started, it was a hit. Everyone began M-Pesa. But then over time you realize the people start closing. Why? Because there's nothing that you're bringing which is unique, which will make me do business with you as opposed to the other person. Yeah. So having a unique selling proposition, it allows you to differentiate yourself with others. So you become more competitive, you're able to attract clients and business. And that makes you survive. Yeah. So in so many words, I would say those are the three things that you need to master. You need to pay attention to. Yeah.
So where are they crucial to a business?
I think the reason why I would say you need to spend time there is to ensure sustainability of the business. Yeah. I've said in this channel many times that for you to succeed in business, you don't need money. There are so many people with money. And we've also seen institutions, big institutions with money start projects, businesses, and they failed. So money is never an equation. It's important. I'm not saying it's not important. It is important. But now, how solid your idea is what you carry the day. Yeah. Yeah. So if you go to a market where there's a need, you will not struggle getting customers. If the market is big enough, there will always be demand. And if you also bring something extra, something unique into the market, you stand out and people will give you business. So that's why businesses thrive. Yeah, that is why if you look at Equity Bank, they shot up. You know, one day it was just a small bank, and now it's the biggest bank in East and Central Africa. With the last time I checked, over 8 million customers. Why? Because I remember when they started, for you to open a bank account, you had to have someone introducing you. It took like 2 or 3 weeks. Sorry to say this, but if you're female, the husband had to introduce you, even if you're married. In some instances you had to have proof that you have some assets, a title deed and all that. Can you imagine just to open a bank account? So I remember when they came on board, number one, if it's photos, they will take you at the branch. Then they only required you to start with 500 bob, and they didn't need you to be introduced because you have your ID. Why would, I mean, they already know you. The government knows you, and that was a game changer, and that is what has enabled them to get all these customers. So they brought something unique to the market. People are tired. Yeah, you're being asked all those documents for no reason. Yeah.
So, given what you've said, are there resources or avenues that entrepreneurs can use to master these three things you've mentioned?
There are so many resources. For me, when I began the business 12 years ago, it was a hit and miss thing. I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew what I wanted to achieve, but information was not forthcoming as it is now. So I'll tell you, if you're watching this, why don't you first subscribe? Because this is the kind of information I share on a weekly basis. Second, there are a lot of blogs, there are a lot of magazines that address entrepreneurship, starting business issues. So when I reflect back 10 years ago and now, the kind of information available, you have no reason to fail because you are truly empowered. There are people like us willing to advise you, mentor you, and coach you. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been tested, so that's...
It's been there, done that. I've done this for 13 years. So for me, I'm already past the 5th year, and that's why I'm very passionate about business, and I'm willing to share my expertise. Yeah.
So there you have it. Please subscribe to the channel for more tips, business tips from a proven, tested businessman in Kenya. Thank you for watching. Share the video, and we'll see you next time.